Giulio Mariotti. I'm a professor in the Department of Oceanography and Coastal Sciences at LSU.
Hi, I'm Shamim Murshid. I'm a PhD student at the Department of Oceanography and Coastal Sciences at LSU.
So here we have a demonstration of how a delta works. Let's think of how a delta works, of how a delta is built. So it rains in the middle of a continent, let's say in Illinois. The water collects into rivers, and rivers tend to flow downhill toward the ocean. The Mississippi River tends to flow toward the Gulf of Mexico. As the water moves down in the river, it carries material with it. It carries dirt or sand. Normally, you will not be able to see the sand moving at the bottom of the river because the water is very cloudy. But there at the bottom of the Mississippi River, there is a constant stream of particle. It's like a conveyor belt that erodes the mountains and brings the sediment down to the ocean. When the river gets to the ocean, it spreads, and as it spreads, it slows down, and it loses the ability to carry this dirt, this material, and the material drops. This keeps going with time for a very long time, and the result is a piling up of dirt, of sand and mud, and that's what is a delta.
So I'm going to put some dye here in the river, and then we're going to follow the flow, and we're going to trace how the dye moves. So I'm going to put a lot of dyes here. So you need to follow the movement of the dye. It's flowing over the river, and then when it reaches close to the ocean, it's actually the flow is splitted, and you can see the dye is actually diverted in different directions, and it creates a finger-shaped delta here in this region.
Deltas are a very nice place where to live. They provide access to the ocean. There are plenty of natural resources. You have wetlands where there is very good fishery. You have very good transportation in the nearby oceans and the river itself. And often in deltas there are also deposits of oil and gas. So people like to live in the deltas, but unfortunately deltas are hard place to live. They have some problems, and one of that is that the deltas are very dynamic. This is a fancy word for something that likes to change in time. Deltas don't like to stay put, they like to rework themselves. People have built cities in deltas. New Orleans is an example. It's built on the levee of the Mississippi River in the deltaic part of the river. It's very close to the Gulf of Mexico. And people like to live at the very tip of the delta. There are communities in Louisiana that live down here, which provide great access to the natural resources, but it's prone to natural erosion. Erosion occurs both from the sea, when there are waves that can hit the shoreline, or they can come from upstream when there is a big river flood that increases the flow and the stage of the river. So here, for example, we are simulating a river flood. You can see the flow running faster. The water is also going up a little. And let's see what happened to those houses that were built very close to a channel.